What if everything you know is wrong?
Okay, let's just dive right into this. We've all been told the same story, right? That hard work is the key to success. It's like the foundational promise of our careers. But for so many people now, that promise just feels, well, broken.
And look, this isn't just some one-off story. This is the reality for millions of people. They're working harder than ever, putting in the hours, doing everything they were told was right, but they feel like they're just treading water, or even falling behind. The rules of the game have completely changed.
This chart shows you exactly what I'm talking about. It's wild. Since 1979, our productivity, the amount of value we create per hour, has absolutely skyrocketed. But our pay? It hasn't even come close to keeping up. There's this massive gap between the value we're pumping into the economy and the value we're getting back in our paychecks. And this didn't happen by accident.
And it's not just about the number on your paycheck, right? It's what that money can actually buy. Back in 1970, a typical house cost about 2.3 times the median income. Today, that ratio is nearly 6. I mean, that one number explains so much about why whole generations feel like the stability their parents had is just completely out of reach.
So, if just working harder isn't the answer, what's really going on inside our workplaces? Well, it turns out there are these systemic barriers. You can think of them like invisible walls that stop all that hard work from actually turning into real success.
In fact, research has pretty much pinpointed 6 of these major roadblocks. Things like a total lack of recognition, no clear path for growth, or just terrible communication. These are the walls that lead to frustration and eventually burnout, no matter how much effort you're putting in.
Let's just take growth as an example. The data is pretty clear on this one. Employees are twice as likely to change jobs for a chance to grow their career than they are for more money. That is a huge signal. People are starving for development, for a sign that there's a path forward for them.
And that gets to such a crucial point. Sure, a good salary might get someone in the door, but what keeps them there? What really engages them? It's the belief that they have a future with the company. If people can't see a path for themselves, they'll eventually walk, no matter how good the pay is.
And when these barriers just stay in place year after year, the result is almost always burnout. And we're not just talking about being stressed here. This is a chronic state of emotional exhaustion, of feeling totally detached and cynical about your job, and this feeling that your work just doesn't matter anymore. It affects nearly half of all workers around the world, and it's a direct symptom of a system that's demanding way more than it's giving back. So this leads us to the most important question of all, right? If the old rules are broken, what are the new ones? If just putting your head down and grinding it out isn't the answer anymore, we've got to find a new strategy. To succeed today, we really need a fundamental shift in how we approach our work. The new landscape requires us to mix that effort with a whole new set of strategic skills, skills that go way beyond just working hard.
And this slide just nails the core of that shift. We have to stop confusing being busy with being valuable. The goal isn't to have a full calendar or a cleared-out inbox. It's to create a real, measurable impact that the right people can actually see. Because let's be honest, the reward for working really hard on low-value tasks is often just more low-value tasks.
The world we work in now demands that hard work is paired with smart thinking and the ability to adapt to constant change. Effort is still the price of admission. It's the foundation. But strategy, that's the ladder you actually use to climb.
Okay, so how do you actually put this into practice? How do you make that shift? Well, it really comes down to 2 key areas that most of us tend to overlook: making your value visible and building strategic connections.
Getting recognized means you have to be proactive. You can't just hope your good work gets noticed in the shadows. This means you got to put your hand up for those important projects. You have to keep key people in the loop on your progress, and you need to make sure your work is seen by people outside of your little bubble.
And building relationships, it's just non-negotiable. Why? Because get this, up to 85% of all jobs are filled through networking, not through online applications. Your network can literally make or break your career by opening doors to opportunities you would never have even known existed.
Now, all these individual strategies are absolutely crucial. But we also have to be real here. This is a systemic problem, and it needs a systemic solution. It's not all on you to just figure out how to navigate a broken system.
The real path forward here requires a 2-pronged attack. As employees, yeah, we have to work smarter and build our visibility. But leaders?
They have a massive responsibility to start tearing down the very barriers that make all this necessary in the first place. They need to create environments where people feel safe to speak up and where good work is actually celebrated out in the open.
And ultimately, that leaves us with this one final, provocative thought. If hard work is no longer the guaranteed path to success, maybe we should stop asking why the system is broken. Maybe we should start asking who this current system is actually designed to benefit. And what does that mean for the future of work for all of us?
Understanding begins with why.